There's a man sitting in a room. Everyone around him is talking, arguing, competing for attention, but he says nothing. He doesn't react, doesn't flinch, doesn't even blink. And somehow everyone in that room is thinking about him. Why? Because he figured out something most people never will. The less you respond, the more powerful you become. Today, we're going to talk about a dark, almost uncomfortable truth about human psychology. The most powerful people in the world didn't get there by chasing approval. They got there by mastering the art of ignoring. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will completely change how you see silence. The science behind why being ignored destroys people. Here's something scientists discovered that sounds almost too disturbing to be real. When someone ignores you, your brain reacts the exact same way as if someone physically hit you. Not metaphorically, literally. The same regions of the brain that fire up when you feel physical pain, they activate when you're being ignored. Researchers found that even a stranger passing you on the street and looking through you, not at you, through you, can leave you feeling shaken and insignificant. Think about that. A stranger, someone you'll never see again, someone who owes you nothing. And yet, their silence alone is enough to make you feel invisible. Now imagine what it does when it comes from someone who actually matters to you. This is the root of it all. Humans are wired deeply, desperately wired for connection, for validation, for someone to say, "I see you, you matter." And when that's taken away, the mind spirals, it questions everything. What did I do wrong? Am I not important enough? Did I say something? This is the power hidden inside silence. And here's the dark part. Most people don't even realize they're using it. The psychology of the ignorer. Now let's flip this completely. What's happening inside the mind of the person doing the ignoring? There are two types of people who ignore others. The first type, they're broken, insecure. They use silence as a weapon to control and punish, to make others feel small so they feel big. This is emotional manipulation, and it destroys relationships. But the second type is rare and terrifying in the best possible way. These are people who ignore not out of anger but out of complete indifference. They've trained themselves to stop giving their attention to things that don't serve them. Drama, criticism, noise, other people's opinions. Psychologists call this selective disengagement, the ability to consciously withdraw your attention from something and not feel the pull to re-engage. And here's what's fascinating about these people. They're not cold. They're not rude. They're just unbothered. And that unbothered energy, it's magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't need them. Because in a world full of people desperately seeking attention, someone who genuinely doesn't, they seem like they know something everyone else doesn't. And honestly, they do. Ignoring as a tool of power. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, understood this thousands of years ago. They said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. And they built an entire philosophy around the art of selective ignorance. Ignore the noise, ignore the critics, ignore the chaos that has nothing to do with your purpose. Because here's the truth that nobody talks about. Every time you react, you give away a piece of yourself. Every time someone says something hurtful and you fire back, you've just told them exactly which button to press. You've handed them a remote control to your emotions. But when you don't react, when you look at someone losing their mind trying to get a rise out of you and you simply continue existing at full peace, you've taken back the remote. Think about the most powerful people you've ever seen. The ones who walk into a room and change the atmosphere just by being there. Notice something. They don't argue with everyone. They don't explain themselves to everyone. They don't chase every person who doubts them. They ignore, and they build. Silence, used strategically, communicates something no sentence ever could. It says, your opinion of me is simply not something I've made time for. And that is devastating to the right people. The dark side nobody warns you about. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because this same power, this same skill, can be turned into something dangerous. When ignoring is used deliberately to hurt someone who genuinely cares about you. It becomes psychological warfare. Studies show that sustained silent treatment, especially from someone close, can trigger anxiety, depression, and a complete erosion of someone's self-worth. The person being ignored doesn't just feel bad, they obsess. They replay every moment, every word, every interaction, trying to find what they did wrong. That obsession, that's not a coincidence. That's the psychology working exactly as designed. So let's be clear about something. The art of ignoring people is a skill. Like any skill, it can protect you or it can destroy someone else. Use it to protect your energy, to guard your focus, to stop bleeding yourself dry for people who wouldn't even notice, but never use it to break someone who loves you. That's not power. That's cruelty wearing the mask of power. So let's bring this back to that man in the room, the one who said nothing, reacted to nothing, needed nothing from no one in that room. Now you understand why everyone was thinking about him. Because in a world that is screaming for attention, silence is the loudest thing you can say. The people who master this, they don't chase, they attract, they don't argue, they outlast, they don't explain, they demonstrate. And here's your final thought to carry with you: your attention is currency. The moment you stop spending it on things that don't deserve it, you become wealthy in ways money can never buy. Most people will watch this and go right back to reacting to everything, to everyone. But if you're the kind of person who wants something different, maybe it's time to go quiet and see what the silence builds.